15? I let Apple swipe me for 1,500? Yo, that's crazy.
I'm broke, nigga! I'm broke!
What's going on, guys, man? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Apple Studio Display, the good, the bad, and why I'm actually considering returning this monitor. Before I get into this video, to anyone that may be new here to this channel or just somehow stumbled across this video, I'm a filmmaker, creative director that's based out in San Antonio. And for the past 3 years, I've edited all my work on my 27-inch iMac, which is the 2019 version, and that's been great for me. But I just sold it, so now I'm editing everything off my 14-inch MacBook Pro, which has been absolutely great. I love the portable aspect. When I'm traveling, when I'm on the go, I have my laptop with me, but when I'm home, I miss having a bigger screen when I'm editing down my videos. Any kind of content, I just miss having that bigger screen. So just for clarity, this slight review is going to be from a filmmaker's perspective. So with that being said, let's get into it. The specs on the Studio Display really isn't anything to brag about, in my honest opinion. It's like the same specs as the older 2019, or I think even the 2017 iMac, the 5K display. It's the same thing, but here's what Apple has listed on their website for the Studio Display specs. Also, one interesting fact about the Studio Display, the power cable does not unplug from the actual monitor. It's all connected into one. You can't take it out. Compared to my 27-inch iMac, I could unplug the power cable if I wanted to. But even with that, I had that for 3 years, and I probably have only unplugged that for like 3 times. And one of those times is when I packed it down to sell it. So realistically, like 2 times. So this doesn't really bother me. I don't think it bothers most people, but it's just something to keep in mind that the power cord does not unplug. So if it does get damaged, obviously you will have to take it in to get it repaired because it's attached to the entire thing. You can't go buy an additional replacement cord. You have to go turn it in to somebody, probably Apple or a third party, to get that repaired. All right, so the first pro for me is going to be obviously the 27 inches for the screen and the 5K resolution display. And it's the same thing as the old iMac, so it's not anything new for me, but I know when I'm doing like my screen recordings, that's basically a 5K screen recording. And when I'm putting that into a 1080p timeline for like a tutorial or something, it looks really good for YouTube. And I like it because when it comes to having clear text and clear images, this is going to provide a clear image for you. With the not so great specs, I think this monitor really separates itself with the excellent build quality. It's an all-around aluminum metal build, so it's got a nice weight to it. It doesn't wobble if your desk shakes, and it has a sleek design. It looks really nice. It's got that minimal look. If you were looking for that minimal look for your desk and your monitor, this is going to be for you. The sleek design, the build quality, it's really nice. I can't say anything negative about the build quality. The design of it, it looks really, really good. Also, the speakers on this sound great as well. It's got speakers on the top and the bottom. In my opinion, they sound really good. It's not going to be, obviously it's not going to be like external studio monitor quality, but coming from someone like me who does have studio monitors, I think this is it's not going to replace the actual studio monitor sound, obviously, but since I have a smaller desk, I'm not able to have the Studio Display, my MacBook Pro, and my studio monitor. It's not all going to fit, so I had to sacrifice removing my studio monitor and just solely using the speakers coming out of the Studio Display, and it sounds really good. But again, this isn't gonna replace, or it's not gonna sound better than an actual quality studio monitor. I will obviously prefer to have my KRK studio monitor, but until I get a bigger desk, this is what I'm gonna use. Studio display, MacBook Pro, and the speakers within the display. I'm also able to connect my MacBook Pro directly into the studio display via Thunderbolt 3 connection, and that also provides a power charge to my MacBook Pro. So I'm able to get the display to the studio display from the MacBook and also provide charge from the studio display. So I pretty much never have to plug in the MacBook Pro MagSafe charger, because once this is connected to the display, I never have to worry about battery. And that cord is provided with the display. All right, let's talk about the cons, man. Obviously, the first thing is this shit is fucking expensive.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
It's $15.99 before taxes. After taxes, it's $17.30. That's a lot of money for a display that is not that spec'd out. And also, don't forget, if you're military, you get 10%. So I actually paid $15.57 after taxes. I just want to throw that in there. I didn't pay the full $17.30. I got a 10% discount for being in the military, active duty Air Force. So don't forget, my military folk, 10%. But yeah, man, even after 10%, $15.57 is a lot. And if you're not military and can't get that discount, $17.30 is a lot. It's all a lot of money for something that's not really something that's really not that exciting. Another con is what we already been talking about, the old specs. It's not anything new. It's not really anything new, man. This is the same specs as my 27-inch iMac 2019 version. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think it's the same exact specs as the 2017 model. For something to be so expensive, not to really have any significant specs, no HDR, which is what I want to get into next. No HDR. If you're someone who works in an HDR workflow, this is not the monitor for you, man. There's no HDR option, no HDR capability within this monitor. So if that's someone like you, I don't work in HDR workflows. I just shoot regular shit. Maybe one day, but right now I just don't, and I don't really see myself going into that anytime soon. So I'll be fine. But if you're someone who's actively working in that or trying to get into HDR workflows, this is not for you. Don't get it. This is also something that I don't really care about. It's the camera for FaceTime or your camera for like any type of meeting that requires you, like a Zoom call. I don't really care for the camera. It's like, I'm not looking for the camera on this monitor to look great. Like, it's a webcam. I do like that this has center stage, and pretty much what that is, if you haven't seen it, it's like when you're on FaceTime or something, the camera is pretty much gonna move around with you. And I think it looks cool. It's not something that's like a deal breaker for me, because I don't really care for the camera. For one, I just use it for FaceTime. I have my phone too, so it's like, I don't really care, man. But it is a cool feature to have. Center stage looks cool. The camera to me looks fine. Like, I don't know what people are expecting out of these webcams or anything like that, but it's a webcam. So I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? It's a fucking webcam, bro. Like, it looks fine. Am I going to return this display, the Apple Studio display? Am I going to return it? No, but I should, but I'm not. But here's why. I am invested heavily into the Apple ecosystem. I have all Apple products except for my keyboard and my mouse. This is Logitech mechanical keys. And then I got the Logitech MX Master 3 mouse. Outside of that, iPhone, a MacBook Pro, 14-inch M1 Pro MacBook, and now the studio display. And I used to have the iMac. So I'm invested into the Apple ecosystem. I'm never going to edit anything ever again on Windows. That's just me.
Why? Because fuck them, that's why.
I know that you can build your own towers and everything, and they look great, they run great, and sometimes, most of the time, outperform Apple products. But I'm invested into Apple, so it's hard for me to bypass shit and go to a different brand when it comes to this editing stuff for me. But at the same time, I'm not going to recommend this monitor to a lot of people because what I just said. it's just too expensive, man, and it's not anything to brag about spec-wise, so that's just is what it is. Pretty much to summarize all of that even further, a lot of people don't need this, including myself, but I bought it and I'm going to keep it because I'm invested into Apple. All right, man, that is it. I talked about everything. I got through my talking points. That's it, man. That's it. But with that being said, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it to be informational to you, hit that like button. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and I will see you guys within my next video. I'm out, guys. Peace.